This is 610 KFRC, 1966 to 1986, the making of a classic. Join 610 now as KFRC ventures through the past to relive moments in time, radio history, and the making of a classic. Celebrating 20 years of broadcasting the beat, KFRC approaches the very month we were first issued our permit for the Parade of Hits. February is the month we celebrate 20 years of growth, 20 years of giving away over $20 million in cash and prizes. And you won't want to be anywhere else on the planet, won't want to miss a single second in a month of special moments in radio history. Here with
John Evans from the 610 newsroom. And Dr. Don Rose here at the music room. We still have those 610 hits to go, but this is the part of radio you don't get to see very often. The things that go on behind the scenes and the little snippets and the little bits of the personalities and people that have made this radio station what it's been for the last 20 years. In fact, there's a sign I can see from here that our hitliners have outside, people that are just getting into radio. And the sign says, "This entire cosmos and all the creatures in it continue to exist in the hope that one day they can be on the air from 610 KFRC."
This is Marvelous Mark, back behind the 610 microphone where I belong, I might add. In case you are fairly new to the area, I first sat behind this microphone in January of 1974 and left in January of 1984, and it's good to be back. Here's something that might sound a little familiar.
Marvelous Mark, KFRC.
I'm Steve O'Shea, one of the original 610 men, and I thought I would just stop and say hello, share a little donut and coffee here with you from KFRC, and tell you a couple of stories about the way the station was at first. I don't know if many of you remember, KFRC was kind of a farm and home station at one time. They had Gene Shepard telling stories. They had the Warriors basketball and a lot of news. And RKO General came in here and turned on this city to a lot of good music. At that time, there wasn't much going on in FM, and certainly no rock and roll was being played on FM radio. So when KFRC broke in 1966, we had all of the music to play for you. We had New Beatles, the Stones, all kind of exclusive things. I'm kind of proud of a couple of things. I got the first Jefferson Airplane record ever on the air on this station and darn near lost my job. And I put the first Grateful Dead record ever played on radio on this station and almost lost my job over that. And now I'm almost losing the lens out of my glasses.
I'm going to let you guys go, but you stop on by and see me,
I'd love to. It's good talking to you, sir.
All right, take it easy.
John Catchings, ladies and gentlemen, who was a lot of the energy in the newsroom.
This is Spencer Davis. I can hear it. I can feel it in my bones.
Talk up to the vocal, Mike.
Spencer Davis on 610 KFRC.
Get that KFRC a little.
Listen, I brought this dustbuster along because I figured if I got nervous, I didn't know what to say, and we had a lot of time to talk up to the vocal, and I ran out of words that I could just dustbuster. I mean, it sounds as good as some of the records there.
Beautiful.
Sometime after 12 o'clock in the city, and you have inadvertently stumbled into the return of me, Beauregard Rodriguez Weaver, on the 20th anniversary of rock and roll on 610
San Francisco.
But you know, there are a lot of disc jockeys that don't use their real names, and I am prepared at this moment to reveal some of the real names of the disc jockeys who were legends on KFRC.
Yeah?
Charlie Van Dyke. His name is Chuck Steinley. Ladies and gentlemen, Chuck Steinley.
No.
Hal Martin. His real name is Michael Spears.
I've never heard of him.
Eric Chase. His real name, Paul Stelgis. Kevin McCarthy's real name, Danny Corey. Jack Hines, newsman. His name is John Heinritz. And then, of course, the one everybody knows. I mean, Bobby Ocean, right?
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Give me a break. Bobby Ocean. I mean, there's nobody whose name is Bobby Ocean. Okay, I'm going to reveal Bobby Ocean's real name, ladies and gentlemen. Bobby Ocean's real name is Johnny Ocean. Laugh it up, big girl.
That's
It's not Johnny Ocean, it's Barbara Streisand. You got it all wrong.
Ocean!
This is wonderful. Bobby Ocean just walked in.
You know what? I had so much fun listening this morning. Russ the Moose was here. And
Mike Phillips was here.
Mike Phillips and Steve O'Shea. And I think you tend to think the radio station started when you started.
That's right.
To me, KFRC started in 1973, October 15th. But of course, wild guys were here before then.
Absolutely.
This station has got to be one of the wildest stations in the world. Destroying an XKE Jaguar.
Yes. And
throwing Mike Phillips' steak on the wall at Enrico's.
There's another story that we haven't told. Remember Eric Chase, the legendary afternoon man here at KFRC.
You realize you're not going to talk about the time he wore his Nazi uniform.
No, I'm not going to tell you, but I am going to say that for almost a year, he was in jail while he was working here, and no one at the radio station knew it.
And here's a recent alumnus of KFRC, Joel Camisher. Welcome back, Joel.
Thanks. I wasn't sure I'd ever be back here at...
Well, of course you're back. and Jane Dornacker, I believe, is in New York right now. She got stranded out at the airport. They somehow lost her ticket.
She started walking, and she'll be here in time for the blue and white ball. That's the story I heard.
By the way, there's somebody on our two-way radio that has a question for you, Joel. Robert McCormick, go right ahead.
Hello, Don. Doing a great job. Joel, this is McCormick. The question I have is, do you recall your most embarrassing moment as a reporter on KFRC? Because I do. Do you remember it?
Yeah, I do, and I was hoping you wouldn't bring that up but I recall it.
Well, would you please repeat it?
Yeah, come on, Joel.
It had to do with time I was down at the Academy Awards.
Joel, that wasn't the one I was referring to, though. The one I meant was when we sent you to San Francisco Airport from downtown, and you called us from the Bay Bridge and wanted to know how to get to SFO.
I think there's not a lot of truth to that.
KFRC with you. Chuck Buell bringing back, 20 years of memories. And it's been a ball for all of us that came back for this reunion to listen to, especially Don Rose, who's been bringing back some wonderful memories and some great stories. I hope you're enjoying this as much as we are. There were a lot of neat ladies that were at KFRC years ago, and some very favorite people still in my life. Joe Enarati, I know a lot of you remember. News. Joe Enarati, KFRC, Flash. Joe, hello.
Ooga chaka.
It's good to hear from you again, too.
Oh, it's wonderful to hear you on there, and Bobby and Dr. Don and Beau Weaver and all the old gang.
We got Bill Lee coming up a little bit later on, as a matter of fact.
I got to get my rhymes together.
That feels good. At KFRC. Hi, I'm Bill Lee. Remember me? Haven't been on these airwaves since 1983. Boy, since then had a lot of good luck, a lot of bad luck. Been through drink, been through smoke, been through glue, but you know something, Lionel Richie shows me that I'm still stuck on you. 456, y'all.
You're a hoser, too.
Thank you.
Mr. Lee, I want to talk to you about something.
What?
Temptation.
Temptation?
I know you want to leave me, but I refuse to let you go. If I have to beg and plead for your sympathy, I don't mind, 'cause you mean that much to me. Ain't too proud to beg, sweet darling. Please don't leave me, girl. Don't you go. Oh, you know, Duke didn't think we could do it without the record.
We did it without the record.
Listen, you know what? You ran your own console, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm not going to run my own console because I'm a chicken, but I'm going to have some fun with a jingle that I have wanted to play on KFRC since I was about knee-high to a grasshopper. Hit it! KFRC San Francisco, yeah! Candy Chamberlain checking in. Are you ready? I certainly hope you are. The top 610 songs of all time. And here's Credence.
KFRC San Francisco.
Good evening. 20 years ago, I was the very first jock at KFRC when they started the big countdown. And 21 years ago, I was fired. Good evening. 365 on the all-time hits. It's going to take me 3 hours to relax and feel like I know what I'm doing. I'm Bobby Dale, welcoming you to a weekend celebrating 20 years of rock music at the Big 610 KFRC. And we've got the Grassroots coming up with number 362, Midnight Confession.
KFRC, this is Dave Sholin, and we have Terry Nelson standing by. He'll be joining in a moment, talking about his days when he was here in the afternoons, and sitting right alongside of me. I'll tell you, I went to Los Angeles. I was here in San Francisco, of course, born and raised, grew up on KFRC, got my chance to be here, and then in 1977, this company shipped me down. They sent me to Los Angeles to be the national music director for our chain of stations, the RKO chain, and back in 1980, I had a chance to return to San Francisco. One of the people that brought me back is right here, and he is the publisher of the Gavin Report in San Francisco. Ron Fell, nice to have you come by and say hello. And his fan club. Now, Ron, when I first got to KFRC, why don't you tell everybody what you were doing at that time and back in 1974?
Back in 1974, I was programming KNBR in San Francisco. Now, you have to admit that we've known each other a lot longer than that.
Yes.
We were students at San Francisco State together back in the mid-'60s.
That's right. In fact, we were listening to some of the people that we have heard here over the weekend. Steve O'Shea and Mike Phillips, Bobby Dale, who was here late last night. Bobby had one of the great lines last night, I must tell you. He had a great line. He was playing Born to Be Wild and said, "Born to be wild, but I'm too weak." Yes, it's true. One of the stars that made those 20 years so special, right here with me, who is now in Sacramento. Welcome,
Yes.
Terry Nelson, back to KFRC.
Thank you, Dave. It's nice to be here. I can't believe I'm part of the big 610 20th anniversary, you know. This was my goal radio station. If there was any place in the whole wide world that anybody ever wanted to work, that was number one. This was it. And when I hit KFRC, I was in heaven. I came up here, met some great people, had some good times, did so many neat things. This has always been a first-class radio station. But I'm telling you, it is nice to be a part of this 20th anniversary. Hello, San Francisco, and I'm ready to have some fun with you today.
Oh, yeah.
KFRC. I've got to play one more. This is Terry Nelson celebrating the 20th anniversary of rock and roll. The rhythm of the city is here. Always was, always will be. 610 KFRC. You win.
610 KFRC, counting down the 610 all-time favorite songs of Northern California with America's favorite disc jockey. What a guy! Yes, it's me, Bobby Ocean, part of the festivities and celebration, and here with you. One of the best days to listen to the radio when it's rainy outside.
Listening's more fun on the number one sound in town, the wonderful Radio 61.
And here's some guys that...
Jane Doran.
There's something like the engineers at KFRC.
Wait a minute. The last I heard, you were in Detroit and they'd had engine trouble.
So I called Phil and he just flew right out and got me.
Boy, now that's speedy.
I know. Well, you know, the engineers at KFRC.
Oh, Jane, you're a sight for sore eyes. You look terrific.
Well, thank you.
You look terrific. Well, now, what's going on? What's going on?
Well, I came here for the 20th reunion.
Okay, we talked about you. Now you're going to take off your jacket.
Yeah.
Your San Francisco 49er jacket. A million memories. All of those great jocks. All of the music of your life. We grew up together. And for all of us who are the Big 610, be proud, because we never limp on the radio.
KFRC, San Francisco.
Amen. I'm going to keep coming back till I get it right. Marvelous Mark, 4 o'clock. Turn this sucker up. KFRC. Who belongs to that silly guffaw?
It's me, Shannon.
Shannon, welcome back to the Big 610.
Hi. God, it's so good to be back here. 610 KFRC, we are celebrating 20 years of rocking Northern California, and I am so proud and so happy to be a part of it. I'm Shannon. Remember me? I do remember you. Here's Roy Orbison, a song that was written for me.
Well, we've got some unfinished business left. That business of the top 610 countdown. Going to resume right where we left off last night with number 150.
KFRC, San Francisco.
Guess what time it is? Well, for one thing, it's exactly 10 o'clock at KFRC, San Francisco, home of the oldies.
That's
wait a minute. Where's the program director around here? Actually, he's talking about program directors. We're doing this bit, of course, our 20th anniversary celebration, but we had a program director here, Gerry Cagle, who, when you and I used to do our special little shtick at 9 o'clock, at 9 o'clock in those days, and I would hear the cheap gags morning.
Yes.
He would always just continue to say, listen, you've got to play the song. I mean, you can't stop and talk. You've got to go. The news ends and just play that song. We have no delays here, no breaks. So if he's listening now,
Sorry, Gerry.
Taking a small break.
The whole staff is gathered around, and I think we really should be thanking everybody. There's a guy back there that put in innumerable hours, Albert Lord. And Vicki Mann, who's arranged so many things. And, of course, Dave. Where's Dave Sholin?
He's in bed.
I think he's in the hospital at this point. And Stephanie McCormick, the music director, who worked so hard to get all these 610 songs all lined up. Craig Roberts is here to clean up after this mess.
That's right, after that's over. And there's Kyle.
And Mick and everybody else.
Everybody is here.
And George the Zine.
And George Zema, I think, put in as much time as anyone this weekend. I don't think he ever left here.
I was just adding it up. Dr. Dom was here for 24 hours this weekend on the air. And so George was here at least that and then some.
And then, of course, all of those great disc jockeys that were here to add their little thing. And for everybody that's left, this is kind of a symbolic gesture as we take
Open the bottle of champagne. Listen.
Do the honors. Pour this out.
All right, let me give you, again, a recap of the top 10 so far.
Give us the all-time top 10, except for the number one song.
Right, number 10, The Bus, Dancing in the Dark. Number 9.
He had 2 in the top 10.
Yes, as did Huey. We Built This City by Starship. Number 8, listen to that, My Girl by The Temptations. Number 7, Huey Lewis and the News, The Heart of Rock and Roll. Number 6.
Waldo's
here. Hey, Waldo, come on. You want this IV as usual? Where were we? 6. Elvis Presley, Jailhouse Rock.
He wants to know if he can get into the program here.
Give him a bottle of the night.
No, stop it.
Number 5. The Power of Love, Huey Lewis and the News. Number 4. 3-minute record with a 4-minute fade, Hey Jude, the Beatles.
That's right.
Number 3, Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin. Number 2, Born in the USA by Bruce Springsteen.
Okay. And now, I think everybody should...
We've been spending 20 years getting towards.
Let's all touch our glasses together.
Real clink.
Clink. China.
Clink. Because we really have thanked just about everybody but our employer, KFRC. And KFRC is more than a radio station. It's a spirit. It's a spirit that goes for hundreds and hundreds of miles and goes through countless souls and hearts and minds. And it's given us all an opportunity to do what we love to do. So KFRC, here's to you. And here's to you, the listeners, because ultimately, you're the ones that decide our fate. And now, we got to leave you with the biggest and the best.
Number 1. Here it is now. The Stones on KFRC.
KFRC, San Francisco.